what I call interdependent minded. After a year and a half since the day I refused this offer.
Linus.
And now the casalo was like 250K.
What?
If you're passionate about what you do, it will ooze out of your face. It will ooze out of the things you do.
It will show.
That's the first thing.
Welcome back. If you are joining us now, the conversation has been ongoing. Please go back and check it out. This is the executive table. My name is Mary Wamae, executive coach and author. Please continue with us. So I think what you are telling the leaders is that sometimes employees do not stay because of how much you pay them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is actually because of the environment that you create for them.
Absolutely.
To love their work and really want to be part of the business.
In fact, I wanted to say that I wanted to also say the company that I was joining. The company I was joining, because Wida Sekera helped me not to join, was a company called Trade Bank. Trade Bank collapsed exactly 3 months later.
Wow.
Exactly 3 months later.
What?
And I had friends there, as you know.
I know. Yeah.
It collapsed 3 months later. And Wida Sekera comes with a sort of cheapish smile towards my office and says, Linus, how are you? I said, I'm good. Have you read the papers? Yes, I have, sir.
Oh, eventually you owned up to him. You had an offer from them.
No, even when we were talking, I told him.
Finally,
I told him this. I'm leaving.
I have an offer, and
when
this is how much I'm
yeah,
getting.
Yeah. So I had told him on day one.
Amazing.
So he said, how are you? Uko salama?
Look at the newspaper.
Nikamwambia, niko salama. Thank you very much, Wida Sekera. But you know what? Better Buyu comes, and after 1 year, I worked for her. We worked extremely well. But after 1 year debate, she got a job in BAT as marketing director. And guess who became marketing director? After a year and a half since the day I refused this offer.
Linus.
And now the casalo was like 250K.
What?
So
you're on a roll by then.
Yeah, it was like 250K.
Amazing.
So it pays. It pays to
really
also
paid.
Not to say I was not tempted by this, but that's one of the most important decisions I took, to refuse this thing with this red car.
Yes.
It was not easy.
Yeah, I know.
It was not easy.
It was a tough decision.
It was a very
tough decision. So that was actually
decision.
your second very tough decision to take or not to take.
In fact, I can tell you that time I had moved to a place called, I had now graduated from Muchadha. You know Muchadha in Banana Hill?
Yes.
So I had graduated and I had moved to a place called Kameritho. That is where I bought my first house, because I never liked the estates.
Yes.
So I had bought my first house. So I remember when I was being interviewed by the chairman of Trade Bank, this time we are talking about the cars and the salary, I'll never forget, because he asked me, Linus, where do you live? I said, sir, I live in Kameritho. Then the guy sits up and says, Linus, Kame, what?
He had never heard of that place.
He said, no, as a bank executive, I mean, you're going to be a marketing manager. You cannot live in that Kame place.
Believe it.
You cannot live in that Kame place. We'll give you a loan. And Kilimani, Lavington, that's the kind of place because I expect you to be entertaining. Will you now be taking our clients to that Kame place? So
he couldn't even say the name in full. That reminds me when I joined the bank and I was driving a Starlet. And when people learned in the bank that I drive a green, nice, beautiful Starlet, KAM 149C. And one of the guys could not take it. He told my boss, can you imagine our new company secretary drives a toy? No, a toy for a car. And I was like, okay, this is not good for the brand, is it? Yeah. I had to upgrade. But that's great.
Yeah. So, so that's how. So I became marketing director. we did a lot of good stuff. I'm very proud of my time as marketing director because we moved our brand significantly.
Yeah.
Like Panadol was number 1, Headaches was number 2, Cafenol was number 3. So we owned the space.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of good work across Uganda and Tanzania. We even started something we used to call Headache Super Cup. Again, this lot will not remember. Where we used to have the winners of the league, the Moi Golden Cup that time.
Wow, just also to connect with the customers. And
then we merged with Smith Crane Beecham, and we become Smith Crane Beecham actually, because Smith Crane Bar is turning Withrow. After years, I was made now the marketing director of both companies. So those ones brought in like Beaners, Lucozade, Aquafresh into the party. I was made marketing director. I was marketing director, but now I became they said the best person for the job. I was lucky to get
for the bigger entity.
Of the bigger entity. I worked there for a year, and then I think we were doing extremely well. So my boss said, I need you in London. I need you to look after Africa. So I moved to Brentford with my family in London, and I now was looking after East Africa, West Africa. South Africa was different, and I did that job for a while.
I just want to take the lesson which I've got from you so far. The client you are serving when you are in Ogilvy sees you are working for him as a client, and then they say, we want this guy
on our side,
in our team. I want you to just elaborate a little bit, because I get the feeling sometimes we think that moving from one position to the higher position is a given, or people just get it, maybe because they know people. There's that common belief in the circles where we are talking and discussing these things. Maybe you should talk about what you need to do to create that profile that somebody will see you and say, this guy is good for our team. I want to work with this guy. Yeah.
Me, I think I would say a couple of things. First of all, I think I did talk about passion. If you're passionate about what you do, it will ooze out of your face. It will ooze out of the things you do.
It will show.
That's the first thing. The second one, which is kind of unrelated, but I always find it important to talk about it, is discipline. Yeah. Whatever you do, discipline is not a project. It's not an event. Discipline is a way of life. If you want to be admired by people in terms of work, half of it is maybe your passion, I can say, but the rest of it is to see discipline, to see someone who is committed, to see somebody who delivers what he promises, to see somebody who even keeps time. Sorry, I was late this morning. But that is very important. I think there is so having passion about what you do, having discipline about what you do, and then the other thing, which I think I found important in my journey, and again I find that is being what I call interdependent minded. And what do I mean by interdependent minded? When you are a small baby, when you are an infant, you are totally dependent. You are totally dependent on your mother or your general environment. We will not let you even move alone even for a minute. And then you grow, and especially when you are going to high school, you are now feeling totally dependent. You are going to high school, maybe a boarding school, and that time you are saying, I'm free from my parents, I can do what I want. Unfortunately, many of us remain there for the rest of their lives. I am independent, I can do what I want. Those people end up leading a very sad life. That life of I'm independent, I can do what I want. The people who succeed are the people who now move to another level. And that is the level of interdependence. And what is interdependence? It is knowing that in an organization like this, if I want to be the guy to do the camera, I can't, because it will come out pretty bad. If I wanted to be the guy who is doing auditing, I can't.
I'm not.
I tried it and I failed.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you realize that in life, you are interdependent. You have to respect that guy who does auditing because he's the best to advise you on auditing. You have to respect the guy who does marketing. And you have to realize, and I realized that more than anywhere else when I was in Nation Media Group. Maybe you'll talk about that. Because, in fact, I used to tell Nation Media, and if you know the fellows, some of them are here, you can ask them. I used to tell the editors, guys, never ever go on strike. Because if you do, you leave me to do the newspaper.
Yeah.
Now, if you leave me to do the newspaper, I'll try page 1, but by the time I am in page 3, all of it will be in Kikuyu. Why? Because I'm not an editor.
And it will take 3 days to maybe get one.
So by the time you have finished your strike,
Yeah.
you'll find that the brand you left
It
is
will be
totally
totally
mutilated.
messed up. Yeah.
But you realize that you have to respect that editor because that is what he's way better than you. The other fact, and then you realize all of us bring something to the party. We are interdependent of each other. That is how you roll in the world.
Yeah.
But because of this thing of hierarchy and boss and everything, we tend to, particularly the higher you go, the more independent you think you are. That thing you did when you were a teenager, when you left your mother and became independent is what kills us.
So
Can we stop at that point?
Yeah, you need to lose the independence.
You need to lose the
Okay,
independence.
I think we will cut it there.
And then you become independent.